Welcome to another taste of Mexico. Today we want to talk about this. This is Tlayuda. This comes from Oaxaca. This was brought to me by the person that takes care of us and cooks for us. And Sabina is from Oaxaca. And she's always very interested in me showing you part of her culture. And this time she brought me 3 Tlayudas. This didn't survive the trip from Oaxaca to Mexico City. She brought me these 3 because she wanted you to see that since they are made with different types of corn, these are not tinted with artificial colors. These come from different corns. So this is blue corn. This is a lot more common than this one. This was made with purple corn, and it has like this lavender lilac color to it. And yes, they all taste like corn, but they taste tiny bit different. Every single site that I read and that promotes Tlayudas are misinforming. They all say that the word Tlayuda comes from the Nahuatl Tlaoli. Makes no sense. Tlaoli in Nahuatl means the shelled corn, and Uda supposedly means in abundance. This comes from Oaxaca, from the valles centrales de Oaxaca. Oaxaca has 13 large indigenous cultures, being the largest, the Mixtecos and the Zapotecos. Every single indigenous culture that has its own language has a word for tortilla, including Nahuatl. It wouldn't make sense to name something that it is a huge tortilla, the shelled corn. Tortilla in Nahuatl, it's called tlaxcali. Tortilla is a Spanish word. In Zapoteca, tortilla is called eta or geta. I hope I'm pronouncing this well. In Mixteco, the word for tortilla, it's called shita. Ita, ita. I found a lot of words that has the sound of ita. So, wouldn't it make more sense if the word Tlayuda had something to do with those words? And Tlayuda is a Spanish word. Tlayuda is an adjective that describes this tortilla. Tlayuda in Spanish means something that endures a lot. It was more commonly used to describe people. So you would say something like, did you see Juanito? He's super tlayudo. He ran the marathon as if nothing. Tlayudas were created like this as something to endure because they have also a different process of cooking. They were meant to be resistant, to be endurable, because they were meant for travel or for something that you would eat it later. If I try to eat Tlayuda as it is now, without cooking again, it's gonna be very hard for me to chew. That's why it was called Tlayuda. Now, I also saw some articles that said that Tlayudas has been eaten the way that we know it right now since pre-Hispanic times, which isn't true. Some descriptions that I found of Tlayudas in the 1920s and in the 1930s, they used Tlayuda as flatbread. And remember that in the last 100 years, our diet has been changing dramatically, and beef or protein that came from any type of animal wasn't as staple as it is today. This inclusion of animal protein to the Tlayuda, I think it's one of the best ideas that someone could ever had. My favorite is, without a doubt, cecina, and that's what I'm gonna be preparing today. Sabina gave me the best advice. If you don't wanna cook this with asiento is lard, you can use water. You're gonna rinse this, and I'm gonna cook my cecina. So here I have fried beans. My recommendation is always have some beans in the fridge. They're lifesavers. These are seasoned with a little bit of chile. Here I'm gonna put my cecina. I just wanna look at this. Could you do a vegan version out of this? Absolutely. Add quelites, beans, salsa. Instead of adding regular cheese, add some vegan version of your favorite cheese, and you will be good to go. And in this other pan, I'm gonna make chorizo. While I was at the supermarket, I saw that there's a vegan version, or a vegetarian, I can't remember, of chorizo. I might have overdone it. Probably my Tlayuda is now soaked, but this is gonna help to make it soft again and to make it more easy to chew. Now, chorizo done. I was cutting an avocado because that's what I'm gonna add, and I was also cutting tiny pieces of jitomate so I could add them as well. Los frijoles. So we're gonna put a very generous capita de frijoles. You can take out your inner taquero. Now that you have pretended that you are the most amazing taquero, in case you're wondering, I'm gonna eat this by myself. This is my almuerzo. It's now noon, and I'm sure this is gonna keep me going till 6 p.m. or maybe even tomorrow. Los choricitos, these are important. It's like sprinkling a little bit of joy. Now, pedacitos de jitomate, tiny pieces of jitomate. Every now and then, just to feel something that it is fresh. I got no idea what I did. Something went missing here. Here are my tiny slices of aguacate. I added cheese, and I totally get why some of you may think or compare this to a pizza. Salsa macha. So, ve nada más. So I'm gonna start cutting it. I grabbed the only piece of Tlayuda that has absolutely nothing, like just a tortilla and that's it. You got no idea how spectacular this is. Okay, now I'm gonna take like the next hour to eat this. If there's a heaven, it probably feels like eating a Tlayuda. Qué bárbaro. Read the article. ¿De qué lado atacaré?